Hello, my dear students. Welcome to English Enhancers. In today's English class, I will be taking up the chapter from 10th Standard CBSE book. So the chapter is Two Stories About Flying. The parts of the story are two. So let me tell you that two stories about flying is present in two parts. The author of the part 1 titled His First Flight is Liam O'Harty, while the author of part 2 titled Black Aeroplane is Frederick Forsyth. Let me repeat again for you. Part 1 titled His First Flight is written by Liam O'Harty. His first flight. Let us begin. The story of his first flight is based on a young seagull who is afraid to fly. Seagull is a bird. Because of distrust. Distrust would mean lack of faith on its wings. All his younger siblings can fly fearlessly despite their shorter wings. On the other hand, the young bird cannot gather the courage. Courage means strength. To trust his wings. He always becomes afraid and scared when coming forward to bring the edge of the ledge and attempting to fly. His mother and father come around calling him and threatening him, scaring him to starve on the ledge unless he flies. Despite all the upbraiding and calling to him, shrilly, he could not move. All day long, he watches his parents fly with his siblings and teaching them how to skim the waves. One day, the whole family flies to a big plateau. Plateau is a landform. And on the opposite cliff, the seagull is sitting hungry. He begs his mother to bring him some food. His mother picks a piece of fish and flies across to him. Maddened by hunger, he jumped at the fish with a loud shout. He falls outward and downward into space, and he can feel his wings cutting through the air. The next moment, he's flying fearlessly, and his siblings soaring and diving with him. So, what is the moral of the story? We get to know that the inner strength of a person is very, very important and helpful in overcoming all the challenges. So, if you all also feel that you are not capable of doing something and are afraid to do something, I would assist and insist you all with the very fact that you should proceed with it and try to do it, because if you will try doing it, maybe once you will fail, but the next time you might accomplish the task. And any kind of guidance that you would like from my end, please put it in the comment box and I can help you with that. Well, now this was the first part and I shall move on to the next part of the story. Part 2, the author of Part 2 titled Black Aeroplane is Frederick Forsyth. Dear students, please remember I have covered the Part 1 which talks about the kind of faith and strength that we should be having in ourselves, and we should be facing the challenges with all the strength that we can muster. And now I am moving on to the Part 2, Black Aeroplane. The narrator of the story, Black Aeroplane, is a pilot who elaborates on his mind's judgment, I would say, and misjudgment also, and how it creates problems, obstacles. In the lesson, the pilot is flying from Paris to London and dreams about the holiday with his family. He is flying over a city and thinks about the tasty breakfast after landing. After crossing Paris, he gets a look of the dark clouds, signifying the upcoming storm. For the sake of safety, he should return back. So here I am saying return. And why it is not appropriate to use return back? Because it is not taken as a correct thing. So you will just say he should turn back to Paris, but he decided otherwise to fulfill his dream of a holiday. He risks the life of passengers and heads the plane into the storm. Everything gets dark and all the instruments stop working. He lost control of the plane and the hope of their survival becomes bleak, very timid. The very less amount of fuel is left and the pilot starts panicking, getting worried in the situation. Suddenly, he sees another plane flying next to him through the storm. The pilot turns his plane to the north in order to follow the strange aeroplane. The pilot starts frightening again as the fuel is getting low. The anonymous pilot guides them out of the storm and disappears. Anonymous means unknown. After landing, the pilot asks about the other plane, but is left in shock to know that there was no other plane in the sky except his. Then what was the plane about that was guiding the pilot? Is it true or not? What was it? Hence, we get to know from the second part of the story that while we are wanting our achievements to be proliferating, or when we are trying to actually be on the top of the world or accomplish everything, we should not stake the life of others, right? So we should not risk the lives of others just to fulfill our dreams. We should also be careful about the people whom we know and the responsibility that we have of other people, and we have to take care of them. We cannot simply put everybody in danger just because we want something to be done, as it is fascinating us. It is something that we like.